The War in the West. Ulysses S. Grant was a bold and restless general. He was asked by Lincoln to lead defensive maneuvers, but he wanted to be on the attack. In February 1862, Grant led an assault force into Tennessee. His army took out 2 outposts on key rivers in the west. On February 6th, he captured Fort Henry on the Tennessee River, and several days later, he took Fort Donelson on the Cumberland River. Advancing south in Tennessee, General Grant paused near Shiloh Church to wait for the arrival of the Ohio Army. While he was waiting, instead of setting up defenses, he worked on drilling his new recruits. In the early morning of April 6, 1862, the rebels attacked Grant's camp at night and the Battle of Shiloh began. During the battle, the Union Army gained greater control of the Mississippi River Valley. The battle lasted 2 days, but in the end, Grant's army were the victors. Grant easily battled his way all the way down the Mississippi River Valley until he arrived at the port of New Orleans, the largest city in the Confederacy and the gateway to the Mississippi River. With 18 ships and 700 men, Admiral David Farragut approached the 2 forts from the shore and from the gunboats. Despite the Confederates' efforts, Farragut's fleet slipped by the twin forts and made it to New Orleans. The city fell on April 29th. Farragut's next destination was Vicksburg, Mississippi. The geography of Vicksburg made an invasion impossible due to the 200-foot-high cliffs above the Mississippi River. General Grant's solution was to starve the city into surrender. His troops began the siege of Vicksburg in mid-May 1863 by cutting off the city and shelling it repeatedly. Finally, on July 4th, Confederate General Pemberton that guarded the entrance to New Orleans and the Gulf of Mexico. Since he was unable to destroy the forts, he decided to race past them, which was a risky operation. Before dawn on April 24, 1862, the warships made their daring dash. The Confederates fired at Farragut's ships, and then the Confederates surrendered. He claimed that the fate of the Confederacy was sealed when Vicksburg fell. Early on in the war, a Union made several attempts to control lands west of the Mississippi. In August 1861, a Union detachment from Colorado turned back a Confederate force at Glorieta Pass. Confederate attempts to take the border state of Missouri also failed. Then, in March 1862, they attacked again, this time being aided by 800 Cherokee. The Indians hoped that the Confederates would give them more freedom and that they would be able to have slavery in the Indian Territory. But despite being outnumbered, the Union still won the Battle of Pea Ridge. The Union defense of Missouri also remained. Even though the Confederates were losing, they still remained active by attacking Union forts and raiding towns in Missouri and Kansas, forcing Union commanders to keep valuable troops in the area.